Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Crypto's live Zoom session. It's Thursday, April 9th, and we're going to take a look at the market. We've got crypto market cap sitting at $208.4 billion. 24-hour volume is $120.6 billion. Bitcoin dominance remains at 64%. Top 10, a lot less than yesterday, as we have been kind of just floating sideways, not much movement going on in the market. So the 24-hour period kind of shows it, reflects it on the percentages. If you look at the screen, we're at 0.50 for Bitcoin, 0.97 for Ethereum, and even some of the coins like yesterday, Bitcoin Cash did a pretty nice significant move, and it's down 5% from the 24 hours. So not much movement, but let's jump right into Bitcoin and kind of see where we are. Here we go. Let me go to the higher time frames. Let me reset my screen. So as of right now, she is still putting in and respecting that flag pattern. Absolutely perfect. So if you look at the previous two flag patterns below it, you can see the red line on our screen. I know the screen looks a little bit crowded, guys, but like I mentioned before, I need to keep some of these, actually all of these markings here, because they're all relevant to the move that's going on now. So all these purple lines are gaps to the downside. These are what I believe is going to draw Bitcoin's price to the downside. So we've got a gap here on the 4 hour. We've already been touching it, as you can see, which is a very classic move that Bitcoin does before she fills it. She's already touched the 4 hour gap here twice. She has the 1 hour gap in here that was bounced off of this one. We've got the 1 hour gap here. We've got a 4 hour, 1 hour, and a 12-hour gap down in here, and so forth and so on, still going to the bottom. Right now, she is respecting that line. Now, it seems to me very obvious choice that when she breaks, she's going to the 200. My only apprehension with this is that it looks too obvious and it's almost like everyone's expecting it. And that makes me nervous. That makes me nervous because usually when everybody expects it to go a certain way and it makes it really super obvious and everyone's talking about it, it usually tends to go the other direction. So as of right now, it just seems like a no-brainer that our next move to the upside is going to be a repeat pattern of these two previous close flags that we have. If it does break out, I imagine it'll probably do the same or similar to what it did in the past. The 200 EMA is a very strong resistance point. So not only that, but we have two areas of key resistance right above that 200 EMA. So we've got the 200 EMA sitting currently at 70, just a little bit above 7,700. Then we've got support that should flip into resistance at 7793-ish, around there. And then we have another resistance right above that at 8,100 or so, which would be, actually, I'm going to lower just a little bit, right there. So it's more like 8,069, somewhere in that area there. So we've got three key areas of resistance that I don't think are going to break very easily. One of the numbers that I'm looking at more than anything is this one right here. Let me just put it right here. Is going to be, like I mentioned this morning in the morning brief, it will be the 9 EMA on the weekly time frame. The 9 EMA on the weekly time frame is where I have all eyes on deck. As it stands right now, it's at 7209. And if we close below it, I'm going to feel much better for the bears. If we close above it, I'm going to feel much better for the bulls that are going to be getting the control of the market. So this is going to really, really kind of just tell me, give me a little bit better insight of how strong the bulls really are. If the bulls are as strong as they seem and they plan to invalidate this, if they plan to invalidate this bear flag, they better get control of that 9-hour time, a 9-hour EMA. If they don't get the 9-day, excuse me, the 9-day EMA, if they don't take control of that, then I'm going to have faith in the bears that they are going to hopefully play this out. And when I say hopefully, guys, it's because I really would like our group trading plan to hit. And our group trading plan is predicated on the fact that we're going to be coming down on Bitcoin, which is going to really scare the market. It's really gonna bleed out the alts and allow us to enter into those altcoins on that drop. However, if we don't get that drop and we do continue to go higher and eventually invalidate the this flag pattern, which would be invalidating this low when we cross this lower high and confirm it, that's when we pretty much confirm the downtrend reversal, and then we can start looking at some higher targets, which obviously bags that you guys already are in, whether in positive or in negative, are going to start gaining or coming up into value once again. So for most of you guys are in that position, very similar to me. It's kind of a bittersweet. So it's never bad to get another drop, so we can fill up some more. The bags that we do have and are underwater, most of us are not really worried about it because we are believers. We believe that this will turn around just like it has every single time in the past 10 years, and she's going to continue to run. So I don't see why this time it's any different. I know it gets a little bit apprehensive, a little bit of anxiety, especially when you're not used to these drops. But if you look back on the left to the chart, you'll notice that these drops are not uncommon. However, this was one of the biggest drops in the history of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin still has pretty significant drops. We've hit levels of this size. We've been much lower than we currently are. So there's nothing new, there's no new price discovery basically going on with Bitcoin. So there shouldn't be really any doubt that you think that Bitcoin will never turn around again. The only thing that you should look forward to is, like I do, another opportunity to get even some more bags to the downside, so that you could not only daily cost average some of the ones you already have, but really take advantage. Another thing we were covering yesterday is a move to the downside will put a really nice market structure on the chart, give us a really nice W, which is a very, very aggressive and bullish pattern. So we could definitely see that happening already. As most of these bear flags, before they turn into a W, they're basically a result of a bear flag breaking down. So if this were to break down in the sense of the respecting the market structure, we're going to get that automatic right side of that W. And the only difference is that a technical bear flag, the drop would obviously be a lot more significant. As you would measure the pole of this flag, you take the highest point of the flag and you basically clone it. So let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This would be an actual a technical bear flag playout. So if this was our top here, that would be a technical flag playout, which would bring Bitcoin to $1,200, which would fill the gap at $1,600. However, that to me is very, very, very optimistic for those who are trying to get. I mean, I have orders at $1,600. Well, actually, my orders are at $1,700 just because I don't trust. I don't trust people. If Bitcoin were to drop that low, I don't think they would let her go that low. And I think a lot of people will be buying in, and they might not allow it to actually cross the gap. So I don't want to take that chance. So I'm a little bit higher than that gap. And if it goes lower, I'm okay as long as I'm in the game. That's really my biggest concern. So that would be the actual play out of this flag pattern. However, W's are, I would say, pretty much halfway of what the 50% of this flag breakout is what a W usually will play out. So if we can get that breakout to about right here, maybe 4,300 in the high 4,300, low 3,000s, and give us that nice lift off into the halvening and into moving Bitcoin's price higher, that would be a really nice market structure that I would like to see. Now, you have to also think about what's going on in the world besides Bitcoin. As we know, Bitcoin has been relatively very closely knit to the price movement of the broader markets of the stocks. We had a huge fall on stocks, and that basically caused Bitcoin to have this huge black swan event. The stock market looks as if it's going to finish correcting. Let me pull that up real quick. But I want you guys to see this, and once you see this, you're going to feel a little bit better about it. Remember, guys, it's the same thing we see on crypto. Does this look like a correction, a candle? Does this look like a reverse candle? This just looks just like any other drop. You have an ugly drop, then you have that saving grace dead cat bounce, and further downside coming. So I don't think there is nothing here that gives me confidence that the stock market is reversing. Like some analysts said last week on Business Insider, that they advise people to buy because it's the beginning of the new bull market, which most of us know is just a lot of FUD. It's a lot of BS. It's just like crypto. They're going to lie to you. They want you to FOMO in. They want to take your money. And they're going to use that with the media, just like market makers use that with Twitter and with all these phony, non-credible crypto news outlets like News BTC and Coin Telegraph. All those. I mean, I've seen these horrific stories coming out of those news outlets, those crypto news outlets, simply for the purpose of driving people to buy too early. And these money makers, they see that. They see the orders coming in, and obviously they're going to sell into your demand. If you look at the stock market, we stopped at the right exact level. Look at that. We basically confirmed. We confirmed resistance from prior support. So here was support, really, really good. This is a monthly chart. So this was support for about 7-8 months. We confirmed it here again. We took off, we came back down. We broke through it like nothing. We just sliced through it like butter here. And look what we did. We touched it exactly. That's all we did. We see this all the time. The only difference is that in crypto, this moves much, much quicker. In the stock market, it takes a very, very long time to play out. But the principles are still there. The price action, market structure, still there. The respect of the TA, of the fibs, still there. Everything that we learn in how to deal with crypto is even more accurate in the stock market. I've never followed the stock market prior to crypto. Now that I learned TA and I'm looking at the stock market, and I'm looking at all of these stocks, I am amazed on how much cleaner the charts are and how much easier it is to TA stocks than it is to TA crypto. So if you guys can TA crypto, you guys are gonna kill it in the stock market. And the stock market's not gonna move like crypto, guys, but the stock market's been around 10 times longer than Bitcoin. So it's definitely, I would say, a much more secure investment. It's another way to diversify your investment. Sure, we all would love to see Bitcoin at 100,000 and $500,000 at $1 million. It's all speculation. Nobody really knows if it's going to survive or not. We hope that it is. We were hoping that Bitcoin would become a safe haven, and we were wrong. Bitcoin did not become a safe haven. We've been waiting for the next collapse to happen. We've been waiting 10 years to see if Bitcoin will take the place of gold, of physical gold, and become a safe haven. And guess what happened? It failed. So if that failed, who knows what else is in store for Bitcoin? Who knows if it's going to fail as another form of investment? We just don't know. But what we can do is while it's still here, and if it's still in its infancy, which it, in my opinion, it still is. It's only 10 years old. Let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of the huge swings. If anything, the benefit that we have is that we made money on it. We learned a whole new profession. Guys, what we're learning here, it's not something you ask any stockbroker, any professional stockbroker out there, when he got hired on these big firms, that he put on his resume that he learned how to fucking trade through Twitter. Go see if you'd get hired on some stock exchange and say, oh yeah, I know how to chart. Shit, I chart on Twitter. They're gonna laugh you right out the fucking door. These guys, they went to school and spent tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn what we're doing on our own, to learn by trial and error, to be fortunate enough to be in a market like this, like Bitcoin, that allows us to get a crash course and a much accelerated, in my opinion, it's a much more accelerated course in TA. And when you can pick up the TA in crypto and understand how it works and utilize it, boy, I don't think you guys can understand the value of what you're actually learning, because it's going to really, really play a key role in how you move forward from today moving forward, whether it's in crypto or whether it's in the stock market. You are really gonna see the benefit of it. So for me, I'm not, as I mentioned before, I'm not in a great hurry. I just really am not. I'm having a great time. I'm learning. I've been in it. I've been TAing for 3 years now. And you know what, guys? I love it. I'm still not tired of it. It still fascinates me. I still love making money on it. I lose money just like everyone else. And all we can do is try to have more wins than losses. But this is a very, very exciting time. I am learning personally things that I used to always wish that I knew, but I didn't even know how to begin to approach it. And now I just can't get enough. This is my life 7 days a week, 4 or 5 weeks out of the month in, month out. And I really don't get tired of it. I do get a little bit tired of the day-to-day, like the hourly day trading. I'm not doing that as much anymore like I used to, but mainly because we're not really in that market. And that really more of the upside market. We're kind of, we're moving up in the sense that we're completing. If you look at the higher time frames, we're moving up because we have to move up in order to put in these bearish patterns. But I'm more focused on this coming down and breaking down. I will be changing, however, once we start. If we do come down, one of two things: if we come down and fill in our orders on the way down, I'm going to be actively day trading on the way up and swing trading. Or if we break 9,300 area, I'm going to get back into the more regular day trading, like a lot of my old members remember me doing. I'm just not doing it in this market. I don't like fighting against something that looks like this. I don't think it's safe enough. I'm not in that position where I need to do it anymore as much. So I'd much rather just wait. And I've noticed that from my trading style, and most of my old members can see that my trading style from 2018 and going into 2019 is much more different. And where I used to trade the 1 hour time frames, now I'm trading the 12-hour time frames. And I'm having a lot more success trading the higher time frames, getting the bigger patterns to play out than I did doing the smaller time frames, because I don't have as much losses. Though I had more wins with the day trade, I also had more losses. So when you subtract that at the end of the month, you're really not working as much. You're not really making as much as if you take much fewer trades on higher time frames and go a little bit heavier. That's what I do. I'm not telling you guys to go heavier. We always try to make sure you guys don't put more than 5% of your portfolio in any trade, and that's how you should do it. But like I told you, what you should do and what I do are two different things, and I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to take the risk that I take. But that's just been my personal journey and my personal way of trading. I trade less coins, higher amounts, higher time frames, less trades. and it's been working out for me really good. So I'm really happy with how it is so far. I don't miss too much of the 10-hour days behind the computer looking at one day, 1 hour and 30-minute time frames. I definitely don't miss that. But I do miss the adrenaline. There's a certain amount of excitement. If you're not excited at what you're doing, guys, fucking stop doing it. Stop doing it. If this stuff isn't exciting, I cannot imagine being behind a chart for 10 hours if you fucking hate it, or if you're bored, or if this doesn't interest you. That would be an awful way to live. So for me, I do it because it's really exciting. The adrenaline of these wins is just amazing. And most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Most of you guys who get those killer wins, it's like a drug, and you just want more and more and more and more. But again, just like a drug, it can cloud your judgment, and you can start making some very, very poor decisions. So that's why you kind of have to have that really a fine balance. Let me look at the chart real quick here. I just want to go over and make sure that I'm not missing any questions. Also, let me see if Mr. Mo joined us. Give me 1 second here. Oh yeah, here he is. Okay, let me make him as co-host. Make co-host. Co-host. How you doing, Mr. Mo?
What's up, guys?
How you doing? So before I go on any further, I was waiting for Mr. Mo to get here. I just wanted to tell you, Mr. Mo, that we have. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart one of our members, Lisa. She's known as Lisa here in our participation box, and she's known as Poodle on Discord. She
Lisa's Poodle.
Yes.
Oh,
Poodle.
okay.
So she sent, I don't know if you were part of the discussion last week where Mo Capital's, I think it was a relative or friend of his that is in the medical field that needed some protection. She was
they needed PPE.
Yeah. Well, they received that package today. Mo Capital did, and he was able to deliver that package along with mask and gloves. She actually even went further and gave her an Easter basket, and just really, really went above and beyond the call. And I just want to thank her. That's what this community is like, and I love that about this community. Yeah, everybody's always helping everyone else, and it really brings a lot of joy to me and Mr. Mo, because when we started this group, we started it with a few people. We just wanted to help you guys, advancing your trading. And as the time went by, the community grew. Everybody continued with that same spirit. Everybody helps each other, and it continues to go almost 3 years later. So it's we're gonna hit 3 years in August. It's incredible. I can't believe that. So it's really, really. Is it going to be 3 years or 2 years?
Coming up
2 years. Sorry, coming up on 2 years. So it's going to be, it's a really, really nice thing that Lisa did, and I just want to applaud you for that, Lisa. You're awesome.
Awesome, Lisa, and thank you, Mo Capital.
Yes. So let me look at the charts really quick. JDM, where is the heat on Tensor? You know what? I haven't been pulling up my Tensor heat because I'm not getting the same rings Mr. Mo is. So I've been just relying on Mr. Mo's Tensor charts until I can dial it down to find out what's going on. If Mr. Mo, can you post a link? A link in the chat box. I'll click on it right now, and then we'll see where the heat is for Tensor. While he does that, let me just read some other ones. There are ways more people calling for depression than there are bull market callers. Yes, Darth, I think so. It's only for me obvious when I look at that chart. Government is propping the market up. Yes, definitely believe that, Mo Capital. Any link? Yes, Sean, we'll look at link in just a moment. Dominic, link for the win. Yes, Bitcoin. Mr. Mo, JDM got his free position last night on Link. It came in.
Oh, awesome! Congrats, brother. That is awesome. I love it.
That's well for JDM. That's one of many. He's very patient, and he's had many free positions. So good for him. It's still exciting to see it.
It's always exciting to see when that plays out.
Yep. Okay, so let's look at.
I just posted the heat map in the chat channel for you.
Okay. I'm gonna have to copy the link because for some reason it's not.
No. Just click on the link. You should be able to tap on it, right?
No, it's not letting me do it. It doesn't come through as a hyperlink. So I'm
on where are you grabbing it from? Zoom? Zoom chat?
Yeah, from Zoom. Yeah, from Zoom chat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
coming in as a hyperlink. That's okay. I'll copy it and then I'll post it on there, and then we'll look at link. Control. You know what? Let me do this. I can right click it and hit. Oh no, it's that's grayed out. The only problem with copying is that it's giving me empty spaces, and it's going to read it as a character. So I
you know
don't think
what?
it's going to work.
Let me. I'll bring up the heat map on my side.
Okay.
And you want me to just, I'll just grab the screen real quick.
Okay, perfect.
Then we can
Perfect.
just take a look at it together.
All right, great.
And then we'll go through it, guys. So just let me know when you see my screen.
Yep, I see your screen.
Okay, yeah. So this is XPD. We're looking at BitMEX on the 4-hour, and right now it looks like we are in a range of between 7,400 and 7,100. So they're kind of just keeping her in a tight little range, but looking at what's happening on top, they build some heat up at that 7,800 level. But the interesting part, I think that BC is trying to point out, is what's happening here at the bottom. So when you look here, this is the section that they have been stacking up some heat here. So these are all BTC orders. Let me see if I can zoom on trading. So there's two type of applications that we use. One is the Tenter chart, which is what we began with, and that's a great service. But in the last couple of months, I've been giving an opportunity to Trading Light and trying to figure out this service also. It's so far it's so good. So looking at a 618 level from the higher move, looking at heat at 5,200, and then scrolling down, and you can see when you zoom in, it lets you look at the size. So right now it's almost $10 million dollars in that area, another 10 million here. So they're stacking it. And the idea is that, you're kind of stacked at certain key levels. Some of these levels do represent support and resistance when you look left. But if price comes down and, if it fails here, this is to me a consolidation move. If they're able to drop price down. I think I did mention the other day that when you guys go into the whales alert section, you can always see if they're moving large amounts of Bitcoin around. And the way that easy way to just detect it is you look for these red little icons, and the bigger. So the example here is this is $36 million moving from an unknown wallet to OK Exchange. But if you scroll up, there's like here, this is a big move here. So this was today at 4:05 a.m. They moved across the blockchain $361 million from an unknown wallet to another unknown wallet. So every now and then, my advice is just take a look at what's happening on Whales Alert, because sometimes that is a little bit of an indicator. It doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes about a week or so. I think Yaz saying is Yaz here by any chance? If he is, I think he was mentioning that it's usually like a week or two later that you'll see something like that. But jumping back into the heat maps, yeah, I mean, they layered it all the way down, man, all the way down. So if we can, if price does drop and come down to these levels, to me, it's a huge buying opportunity. I do think that we will see this defending of the 3,600 level. Don't really think that we will go beyond that. It's possible that we could, but I think that if it does come down, that to me is the last opportunity in this section here. Let me see what else is going on. Yeah, so there's right now she's sitting quiet right now. There's nothing much happening here. You have 385 versus 475. So yeah, maybe if they bring her down a little bit, they'll take this out. They'll take all right, so they'll take out 7,250, bring it down to 7,150, and maybe even bring it down to just to 7,000. So we're still in that range here. In price, but always have a case to the upside and always have a case to the downside. We don't know. I think, yeah, going back to what you were saying, BC, in terms of Bitcoin being a safe haven, it's still early, in my opinion, to classify it as that. I mean, but look, everything when we look at Bitcoin against gold, and just look at its performance, and this is a study that we've been running since January 1st, 2019, and just looking at if you would invest in gold at this point versus investing at BTC. BTC still, it's still put in a free position there. Gold is still, at a 31%. So I think BTC is still performing a little bit better than gold during this whole pandemic event that's happening. I do think that we will see gold break above the 1700 level, especially with what's happening with oil right now. I think oil is becoming we're starting to kind of come back to the narrative of oil, and whether it's the Saudis and Russia are going to kind of come to an agreement of some sense. My feeling is this could be a potential push to move some of these U.S. companies out of the market, move them into I don't know, either a bankruptcy or I don't know, how that's going to play out, because on one end you do have federal government trying to bail out some of these companies, but I do think there's going to be a consolidation in oil, and we will see that will put downward pressure. I do think we'll see oil move into the teens, and if it does, it will spook markets on the Dow Jones, and this little relief will eventually come down for the next leg. We'll test the 100 EMA around 20K on the Dow, and then after that, I think as they're ramping up the narrative too, when we look at momentum and we see where we currently are on the previous crisis, important to remember that momentum did come down to 18 points. We are still currently at 45 points, so this is going to be a slow process. It's going to be a slow process, but I do think that we'll probably be inside of the 100 EMA and the 200 EMA, or the 200 MA is I feel like 15 or 16K on the Dow is something that I feel that every day a little bit more likely. If we don't do this quarantine the right way, if we don't shut down states the right way, and we wind up having to do it again, no doubt it will come down in my mind. No doubts. I do hope we can get our act together, because I got news today also of just friends that have perished in New York from this whole event, and the case is now in New York. Actually, I can bring them up. They don't look good, guys. It looks nasty, man. It looks really nasty. So in New York, there's 7,000 fatalities. It's a mess right now.
Yesterday alone, it was 800 people. 800 people died yesterday alone.
Yeah. So the total right now is it's at 7K. And for you guys that want to do a little TA on COVID, when you go to the TradingView website, on the right-hand side, you can view it from the world, and you can view it from what's happening just inside the U.S. When you look at it, they're going to update the information, I think, in the next couple of hours. But yesterday, COVID put in, and imagine for a moment this was an asset, right? But this is instead of virus. If this was an asset, this put in 8% yesterday of growth. The day before that, 8%. The day before that, 9%. So this thing is still building. I don't see a pivot. I don't see a reversal of any kind yet. And that's why I'm in favor of, like, yeah, we got to make sure that we can kind of keep this in check, because if we can't do that, then again, well, first, it's not going to be pretty, especially looking at and these are just New York numbers. We still have to look at Illinois. We have to look at California. We have to look at Louisiana, because those are becoming the new hot spots right now. That's becoming a little bit problematic right now. Actually, you know what? Let me just bring this up real quick, so that way we understand the picture from the macro perspective of what's happening with the Dow, what's happening with the virus, and then into gold, oil, and Bitcoin, of course. I have a quick link here that you guys can go into the channel, look at the actual map and the data that's coming from the WHO, CDC, and when we look into the US, yeah, remember when this was just 15 cases, dude?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Incredible, man, incredible. So yeah, these are, this is New York right now, so this is getting it. But Chicago, I think, is going to be another area that is Illinois is. We got to keep our eye on how this is growing, and this is this is real life Frankenstein stuff. But that's kind of I think what's happening on the heat map side. So I don't know if anybody has questions regarding heat maps and how to read them. On this side, it's very simple. It's just the order book. We're looking at this through between 7,400 and 7,100. This is these yellow lines indicate, and you can kind of dial this in, guys, also. And if you haven't tried TradingView, give it a shot. They have a free trial version. You can try it out. But you can kind of just dial in. You can bring up the brightness, or if you just want to bring the noise down and see where the large orders actually exist, look something like that. So you can kind of just take the noise right out and just tune it to what works best for you. They have all the different timelines. It's been a good service. It's been a really good service. I like it. I've been enjoying it. But again, I just wanted to give a try to Trading Light. But if you're using Tensor, it's just as good. It's a great service. So anyway, that's a
Right,
basic.
I'm gonna take the
turn it over.
screen
Yep,
and yeah, okay,
turn it over.
perfect. All right, guys. So I'm gonna take a look at link by request. Give me 1 second here. We'll see how we are with link. Okay, my screen's there. We have okay. So this is link at the moment. Let's see. She's starting to come down. Okay, well, let me take these off of here. Here. Okay, perfect. And I don't need this anymore. And I don't need this anymore. Okay, perfect. All right, let me see. Give me just 1 second, guys. What are we at? Where are we at? Okay, so we have our support box here. We are 12-hour time frame. All right, we're just pulling back. And I'm sure most of you guys know why we're pulling back. It's obvious, right? Pretty obvious. For you new folks who don't know what I'm talking about, whenever we have the price action start running and she starts getting away from the 9 EMA, it almost always comes back down and meets that 9 EMA. As a matter of fact, one of our members, Darth, he created a script that he trades off of on the volatility between the tip of the price action and the 9 EMA, and he scalps inside, whether to the upside or to the downside. Same thing, same effect happens. When you drop too far down, like this, you're gonna eventually come back down to check the 9 EMA, and it happens both ways, the downside and to the upside. And he created a script that allows him to trade these areas between the 9 and here. They're scalp trades, they're 3-5%. Sometimes they're more, depending on how much of a run it made. But it's pretty significant when you do it, when you constantly do it over and over again, and it's doing it, and it continues to prove itself as a really reliable whenever you start pulling away from the price action, from the 9 EMA. The only difference is that when you do it on a 12-hour time frame, these percentages are much greater than if you do it on the hourly time frame. But they have the same exact effect. When you start pulling away on the hourly, it does the same thing. It comes back, checks the 9, and you can see that here. This is the 1 hour time frame. So look at this move. Look at this. Look how far she got away. She came back and she checked it. Once she checked it, look at that. She took off again, got too far off away from the 9, came back, checked it, and does it over and over and over again. However, on the 12-hour time frame, it's just a lot. The percentages are a lot greater. So if you trade them using his signal, it just helps you to scalp just this little move right here. And this little move is a very powerful move. So right now she is coming down, but overall, this did not put in a bear flag. If you look at this pattern, this, unlike Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is in a bear flag, this did not put in a bear flag. So this looks very different. Let me pull up. Let me do this. Let me pull up. Let me just clear the noise a little bit here. Let me pull up the the other tools. So the oh my god, RSI was inside of overbought, and she hit a 75. Yeah, actually, you know what? I've got to lower. No, this is right. Yeah, I've got to. No, that's right. She's at 75 points. She's coming down a little bit, and usually the RSI is indicating the current candle of the price action. Since she measures the strength, obviously it is going down. The strength is weakening, so this is going to give an automatic downtick. Whereas this value measures more the momentum. So this will start to move in a much slower pace than the RSI will. But it's showing you really well here that the momentum oscillator is getting a little bit smaller. So it's getting less momentum is coming in, causing this to come down and causing us to close in that gap. We're just going to have to watch it here and see if she bounces off of this 9, or if she comes back down for a little bit more relief. She's going to have some good areas of support. So let me point those out to you. Boy, I just have a lot of stuff on here. Let me see if I can get rid of some of this stuff. Let me do this. Let me get rid of this here. The only two things I got to keep is my 2 entries. And let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Okay, and I'm going to keep the gap lines. I like keeping the gap lines, guys, because they never expire and they continue to act as really good support and resistance. As a matter of fact, one of the lines that I was going to draw, I don't even have to draw it because the gap proves it. The gap shows right there. All of this resistance will now be strong support. However, before that happens, there is support right there. So we've got support here based on this price action here, this resistance here, this resistance here is going to more than likely flip into support, and the 9 EMA is lining up very well with that area as well. If we lose that, we have this area here as well to come down. And that's the nice thing about when you see organic growth in any type of in any type of project, when it comes up in an organic manner, on the way down, it's less likely it's going to just drop. It's going to have established a good areas of support and resistance. So on the way down, you have you can rely on the EMAs and the prior of resistance and support to help out on that price action. So at the moment, you can see where we have one layer of support here, the 9 and this prior resistance. Then we have an important layer, which is a 200 EMA on a 12-hour time frame. So that's very significant. You can see here where we touched it and confirmed it 3 times. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. We confirmed it. Off she goes. Very likely, if we break here, she's going to do the same thing. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, and we'll see if she can bounce from there or if she comes back down. As this price action remains in this area here, it's also pulling these other EMAs that are below the 200 EMA as a secondary backup. So if we can get the 100 EMA to cross above the 200 EMA, that's going to be another layer of support that the price action is going to have. So it doesn't collapse all the way down, and it can continue, and it can do its continuation. However, you got to keep this in mind that no matter how bullish this looks, this is not decoupled from Bitcoin. And that's one of the things that most everybody in crypto understands and knows, but there's still some people that really think that their coin is going to run when Bitcoin doesn't look good. If Bitcoin drops, 99% of these coins, of the 5,000 coins that are out there, are going to drop with it. So regardless of what it looks like here, you can play it, no problem, but always keep in mind the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is going to be Bitcoin's move. So that if you have a bullish setup on Link, take it. Take it, keeping in mind that the leader of the pack may come down, so that will force you to use proper risk management. Make sure you put a stop loss at right after you enter. Make sure you move that stop loss as quickly as possible on a break even. Make sure you leave yourself enough buffer as well so you don't get wicked out. of that position, but continue to write it. There's no reason why you cannot write a bullish setup on any coin if that's what you want to do. If you want to take that risk that with Bitcoin putting in a bear flag on the higher time frames, you can do that. I just choose not to. I bought a lot of these coins on the way down. I didn't know where she was going to fall. So some of these, as Bitcoin's price, the day that I bought Link had for on Binance have put in a wick all the way to 1 penny. So I obviously did not take advantage of that. And so when I woke up, I just started buying key levels that I was familiar with. $1.59. I've been in $1.59 and $1.58 zone for the past, I don't know what, about a year and a half or so, Texas. Actually, not just me, a lot of us have been buying at $1.58 and $1.59. And if you take a line at $1.59, guys, and this one right here at $1.59, and you go to the left, you're going to see how many times that hit at $1.59. So that's a very common number that we play here because we all love Link and we all believe in Link. And I also I didn't know how much more, so I had a couple of more buys. These buys I have not gotten a free position yet. I hope to get a free position, but these are the kind of plays that I was telling you the other day. If we move, great. If we invalidate the bear flag, great. My positions continue to grow on ADA, on Link, and on NEO, and on those are it because my RVN bag is underwater. But my these other positions, they continue to grow, and the ones that are underwater are just going to get that much closer to breaking even. So okay, fine. I don't get filled at the bottom anymore. I'm still in the game. I'm good. But I really do hope that Link being one of our trading plan coins, that we do get filled in those areas that I don't think I've covered Link yet on a group trading plan, and we're going to go over that when we get to Link. But I do hope that it plays out the way it does. But as of right now, I think it was Adrian who asked me. She's going to be coming down. The key areas to look at is going to be this area here, and the 200 EMA would be another area. That these two are not going to break that easily, especially the 200 EMA. So just keep an eye on that. See what she does. If she bounces, you might want to play the bounce. Let's look at percentages. If you were to play that bounce and you utilize this support as an exit, that's 11%. And the reason I say this support, because we already confirmed the support. We confirmed it with this candle here, played as resistance, flip to support, flip to support. We're on the third candle here. So on the way up, if she bounces off the 200 EMA, this could be a target. Maybe lower it just a little bit to make sure you get filled. 8 to 9% is still a very, very good scalp on that bounce if you choose to play that bounce. It's totally up to you. But that's what I see for Link at the moment. Let me look at the chat box. Let me move up. Okay, here we go. Everybody congratulating JDM for his free position. I'm waiting for the rug to get pulled on the Dow. Great that COVID-19 is not looking as bad as previously reported. Yeah, I know. I was pretty surprised too, because they were saying last week 100 to 240,000 deaths this week. So, I mean, we still have horrible numbers, but it's still not as bad as the 100,000 or 240K. So hopefully the system is working and we're able to curve that down even further down. But that does not mean we return to business as usual. That's right. That's right. Because then we will get those numbers. If we return as business as usual because the numbers are dropping, then we are going to hit 240,000 and above. So I completely agree with you. Jobs are bad. Unbelievable market bounce up. Hopium yes, that's what I believe too. It's just a hopium bounce. It's just a typical market bounce. Nothing more. We see that all the time in Bitcoin. Most of us are not even fazed by it. The flattening starts with hospital admissions, which are lowering in New York. Less people go to hospital, less people die. So you should see some relief on that soon on the heat map. Why are there different lengths? Is that significant? On the heat maps is what you mean. On the separate on the heat maps, why are there different lengths? Is that significant? I'm not sure what you mean by length, De La Vise, on the heat maps that Mr. Mo was going over on Trading Light. If you can elaborate what you mean by different lengths. I don't know if you mean the length, like from left to right on the heat. Usually that's where you started, and that's where it started, and it's just a continuation, if that's what you're talking about, but I'm not quite sure. Darth, the 9, yep. Darth, what's the script you created? So Kais would like to know the script that you created. I'm sure he'll post it on Discord. He's posted it numerous times on there, but if you can post it once more, Darth, I appreciate it. Sean, you're very welcome, Sean. Trading, okay. Oh, here, Darth just posted the script on the Zoom group chat. So if you guys would like to copy it and paste it, I don't know if you're able to do it, but I'm not able, from my box, I'm not able to click on any link like I used to before the update. So that might be something new, or it's just my system. Kais, thanks. 0 is overbought or oversold. 0. No, well, I don't know. I think you're talking about, Kais, when you say 0 is overbought and oversold, are you talking about the RSI on mine or something on his script? If you're referring to mine, oversold would be right here when you cross the 30 points, and overbought would be when you cross the 70 points to the upside, if that's what you're referring to. Or I don't know if you're referring to anything else. 0 means, okay, so Darth already answered that, never mind. It's all measured in percentages. Okay, good. Cool, I'll PM you. Yeah, old school said, yeah, 159 is a great entry for Link. Yeah, a lot of us have been playing 159 for a long time. It's almost automatic. So for some of you new members to coming in, we play the same coins a lot because we're familiar with them. We feel comfortable with them. So whenever you see 159, you could actually even put an order now at 159 because we will always go in at 159. And it's just one of those entries that you cannot go wrong. Anything below $1.75 on Link, in my opinion, is a killer entry. The lower you can get it, the better. But anything below $1.75 is amazing. Yeah, I got Link in at 162. Okay, JDM, that's good. That's good. Mine was 159 and 204. I got scared, JDM, when I got the 159. My first thought was, shit, this thing's gonna fucking come down to the, to like, I saw this gap at 52. So when it didn't happen, and it started crossing the $2, that's why I have a $2.04 entry and $2.30 entry. I was too scared to buy. So I figured, okay, 159, that's a good entry. If I need to, I can break even if it comes back down, and I'll buy it lower. But I just couldn't get myself to buy it higher than that because I just saw it go to a fucking penny. And then I see the gap at 52 cents. And even the 159 was a little bit apprehensive. So, but I'm good. That's a good entry, 162. I wish I would have bought some more. It's always, in retrospect, it's always, I wish I could have, I would have, but that's how it works sometimes. Wick went up through my FP sell order, but it did not sell this time. Oh, your free position. Oh, your wick went through your free position order, really, and it did not sell, huh? You want to make sure, double check that. Double check that, old school, because there's a lot of liquidity in Link. So just make sure you typed it in right, because if you didn't type it in right, it's not going to hit again. If we go through it again and something's not right, I would probably delete. If I were you, honestly, I would delete it and re-enter it, just in case there's something weird with that particular pre-position order that you don't miss out on the next one. Don't just leave it there and see if next time it'll hit. Erase it, delete it, and just do it again. It'll take you a minute, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. Delavi says, oh my God, that sucks. She will fill soon. Okay, he's talking about that. I will usually buy at $2. Dar says he usually buys at $2 as well. JDM, my free position sold at $3.39. Awesome. Old school says, sweet, a good close. Okay, I think we covered everything. Can you comment on, okay, yes, comment on BSV. You got it, BSV. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you again for all of your help with Mo Capital. Let me move this out of my way here. Let's look at, we're going to cover the group coin after I answer this question, guys. We're going to jump into our group coin trade. Just let me answer this real quick. There's BSV, and Here we go. Here, BSV. Okay, so let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame. Give me 1 second. Oh, my eyes are hurting. Okay, what did she do? She 12 hours, so she tapped out. She tapped out right in here. So this was our second fib. So let me do this, just to clean it up a little bit. Let me take this fib out of here. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh man, my eyes are killing me. What did she do? Okay, so she tapped that there. Let me look at them at okay, RSI. Okay, so she went into overbought. She went into overbought. Now coming down, some relief. Let me look at the EMAs real quick here. And here. Okay, so let me look at the volume as well. Okay, volume diminishing. EMA, she's landing on the 9 EMA at the moment. Very similar to Link. So I would wait for it to come down. She actually put almost the same market structure as Link. Look at the 3 confirmation candles and then lift off, just like Link did. Now, I would expect to do the same thing when it comes back down. Hopefully, the 200 EMA will hold. The only difference is that, actually, no, there's no difference. I think Link is falling on that 200 EMA on the 12-hour at the moment. No, she's not there yet. She's not there yet. Okay. So, where's BSV? So I would wait to see if she can hold that 200 EMA. And then if she bounces, if you're into scalping and you feel comfortable scalping, you can try it. You can try it. Again, you got to keep an eye on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crashes, she's going to dump hard, and you're going to be chasing that loss. So completely up to you. But if you feel like you have to trade every day, then go for it. Put a stop loss on that you're comfortable with, and knock yourself out and see if it works out. But that's pretty much it. She's cooling down right now. She's cooling down. MACD still looks good. I mean, it's cooling down a little bit. No big deal. It's catching up to the cross indicator. So you still have a little bit of gap here before she hits that cross indicator. So it's still not bearish. Once she crosses the cross indicator, then it becomes a little bit more bearish. But right now, she's just going to catch up. Very similar to like with the 9 catches up to the price action. Same thing. So right now, she's kind of in a catch-up mode. All right, guys, I'm going to cover the group trading. I see the chat box flashing, but I'm not going to pick that up yet. I'm going to go directly to our trading plan for the group. Let's see, what's the next one on our list? Link. All right, Link is the next one in our group. So let's do this. Give me 1 second. Let me move this out of my way here. Let me put the weekly on here. Let me double click here to get more real estate. Let me go, just to go, again, for the sake of the exercise, we're going to go to CoinMarketCap, where I'm just going to take a screenshot because I am posting a screenshot of the CoinMarketCap of Link so that everybody understands the asset at the time we went in, what we were looking at. We're looking at Link. She's at rank 11, $1.1 billion, $721 million. You cannot go wrong with this statistic here. Great. So let me just do a screenshot so I don't have to do it later on, and I can already have it in my on my hard drive. Okay, so that's a screenshot there. So let me get rid of that. Now let's jump into the coin itself. Link has been a monster, just been amazing, fantastic. We're actually going to do the entire. Let's see here. I did the TA on Link, but for some reason it did not hold. So great. We're going to do it all together. We're going to look. Oh no, but here's I don't know why my you know what, I must have started, but the what do you call those gaps? They're not on the chart. So let's do this. Let me look for the gaps really quick. Just bear with me for just a second. There's one right there. But no, yeah, okay. There's one right there. There is, let's see, let me look for one that's not filled. Okay, right here. Just let me I believe that's one. Let me see real quick. Just let me double check it. Looks like it is though. No, it's not. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Let me pull this here real quick. Any more to the downside? No, this one's been filled. Okay, that one's been filled and no other gaps. So we're good. So we only have one gap as of right now. Let me see where I took the low from. I took the low from right here. So the low was off of this candle here, which is 1861. Should have been the low 1861. So let me just correct that on my screen here. 0.1861. Okay, so it lines up perfect. What did she do? She broke out of this low here. She went for it. Let me lower this here. So she went for it, came back down, respected these fibs on the way down, 382, 0.50, 618, 706, bounced again for another attempt. Failed, put in this market structure. Now, really quick, guys, what does this look like to you guys? Look at this, what me and Mo have been talking to you guys about. So ignore everything from this to here, ignore all this. What does this look like to you? Here, let me give you a hint. Let me give you a hint. Give me a second. Look at this structure that we're talking about. Look, here it is on the weekly. There it is on the weekly. Now, what does it look like here? Look at that. You see that? That's what we're hoping it's going to happen with Bitcoin. So she came down, she broke out of this flag. However, she kept the market structure for the double bottom, for the W breakout really nicely, because the left side was the lower low from this right side. So this was lower than this area here, which creates an uptrend. Respected that beautifully, bounced off the 50 EMA, completed the W. Now, because we didn't close above this here, this fib study is still valid. I don't have to put any fib extension to the upside. I don't have to put a fib extension to the downside. I don't have to restart my fib here or restart my fib here. We never exited this fib study. We still honored it. Yes, we have the gap, the little wicks here, but they didn't close here. So for the purpose of this study, this is still valid. This still works. And look, you can see how well she comes down and respects 618, takes off, respects the swing high, comes back down, respects 236, 382, again 618, again 618, again 618, and for the fourth time bounces off 618, and we are currently in this position here. My entry for this coin, my safe entry is going to be 706. The 706. It's a very strong area of support to the downside. I know it's not 886. I get that. But again, there's going to be times where you do TA that you're also going to have a little bit of a bias to it, especially if you follow the coin, you see the strength of the coin, and you see the probability of where that coin normally hits and normally finds support. Because we've been playing this coin, and I've just been telling you guys that 159 has been an incredible entry for us. And look, you can see it, how many times we've hit 159, we've come down. So for me, finding an area like 706, where I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 confirmations, 8 confirmations here as support, prior resistance, is an entry that I would be 100% comfortable with. If we drop below here, I would buy this without wavering. I would definitely buy this. But for the sake of the group trading plan, and because I really want to have skin in the game on Link, on the group trading plan, I'm happy buying at 154, even though it's not the typical 886, and like we're seeing, or even a lower support, like we're picking a lot of these coins. But again, a lot of these coins don't look like this. A lot of these coins, that we've been looking at have already went down to 86 and given it all back and has broken support. So this coin has not. Time and time again, we find support at 706. So that I'm making that judgment call of entering in here. Now, free position. I mean, free position is right here at 382 on this resistance area here on this line. So for me, that's a good call. So if we had gotten into this coin, you know, at 154 a few weeks ago, it already been a free position. And will this come down again? Sure it will. Sure it will. If Bitcoin comes down, this will come down. Obviously, if Bitcoin does not come down, not break out of that bear flag, reverses the trend and blast off, this won't come. The probability of this coming down is very, very low. But I don't care. I don't care. I have bags already in it, so I can care less. It would just for the sake of the group trading plan, we're not going to have the best entry, but I will have to reassess my entry and play whatever entry I can when the time presents itself. But for right now, my entry stands at 154 at $1.54 with the free position ending at 308.31. So that's the trading plan for Link. Tomorrow we will cover Litecoin. Tomorrow we will cover Litecoin. Let me look at the chat box, answer the last couple of questions, and then I'm heading out. Aaron, okay, you're welcome, Aaron. Would scout for a short right now. No, I'm not looking for a short. The Woodsman, Link is a unicorn. Yes, Link is a unicorn. Link is a moneymaker. Yes, Link is a moneymaker. So as you guys can see that are new to the group, we love Link. We absolutely love Link. It's made us a lot of money, many people a lot of money. And it continues to do so, regardless of not regardless of where you get in, but obviously the more patience you have with this coin, the better you understand it. And you'll see that Link usually gives you a second chance. It gave you a second chance here, gave you a second chance here. Look, the last time this went up, everybody thought that's it, it'll never come back down, never come back. And she came down and then some. I don't know why that wick to 1 cent disappeared. Am I not looking at Binance? I'm looking at Binance. They somehow erased it. So they took that wick off that went to a penny. But we all know where it actually landed. But they for some reason cut the wick and they left it at here at 135. I don't know how they judged that, but that's where they left it. So will this give us another opportunity? Yeah, I think so. I think it will. If Bitcoin will grant us another pullback, I think we'll have a really good chance of entering this on our trading plan. All right, guys, that will be it for tonight's Zoom session. Tomorrow we'll have the last Zoom session of the week. We have these Monday through Friday. And so have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow.
Take care, guys.
You're welcome, Dominic, Aaron, Old School, Woodsman. You're welcome. 7 p.m. Dominic. Oh, it's 7 a.m. where you're at. Okay. So it'll be 7 a.m. for you. Okay, I got you. Doctor, you're very welcome, Dr. Tao Kais. You're welcome. Old School, always my man. JDM, you got it, brother. And congratulations. Going fishing. You're going fishing. Good for you, Dominic. Good for you. Have fun. Post some pictures, Dominic, if you get a chance on the lobby channel in Discord. That's kind of where we put our personal stuff there. So I would love to see some scenery from your you never catch it. It doesn't matter if you catch anything or not. Just the fact that you're out there clearing your head, getting some fresh air, getting some vitamin D. That's all that matters, my man. Have a good time, brother. Have a really good time. Talk to you later, guys. Stop here.